Are my captions working? Yeah, there we go. So it's gonna try and play this. It's really bugging me that the screen was so tiny, so I thought, you know, I'll put my stream window front and center. Ooh, but I have to click over here. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Give me 1 second. Let me move stuff around. Oh, well. Just wish it was bigger and streamable. I don't know if I'm going to be able to put up with this. Requires 3 hours of memory links to process. Clicking on him. Get an old stuffed platypus. Honestly, I just don't think this animal has the right to exist. Am I muted? I am not. The world's not big enough for 2 of you. Old stuffed toy platypus. Can we look at anything else? In memory of River E. Wiles. Can I click on the umbrella again? No. Okay. Wait, what was that? Oh, this door will open. Hooray! John says it's finished, River. Like you, I'll be able to watch over her every day. She won't be alone anymore. Ooh. I might never understand why, but I stayed true to your wish. I'm sure Anya is grateful to you too. Okay, that answers that question. But when I'm gone, who's gonna watch over us? So it looks like Dr. Rosalind popped into existence. Who are you? My name is Eva. I was just passing by. Was she your wife? Yes, her name was River. It's a special name. It didn't need to happen. She didn't need to do it. Oh no. But you wouldn't understand. I don't even understand. I wonder if this is about suicide. Interesting. Well, the lighthouse windows are all boarded up, and I don't remember if that was true before or not. Received note, Anya. So you went to all the trouble of showing me the full length of the tower, all the way up. I still have to walk up the stairs. Grumble, 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 grumble. About time you got here. I must thought you fell off the cliff. What were you doing? Enjoying the scenery. What else? Any luck here? Big luck. Huge. Dinosauric. Huh, this place looks pretty empty. It's a lighthouse. What do you expect? Anyway, I'll catch you on the other side. Have fun re-breaking the barrier for yourself. What? That's the barrier. Broken lighthouse lamp. Clicked on it twice. Talked to this guy. John gives me another memory. But I don't know what it is. I don't know why for. Prepare a memento. More of this dumb puzzle stuff. Ideal shows the minimum number of moves the memento can be completed in. Okay. I did it in 3 moves. Let's activate the platypus memento. Still haven't gone that far back. John says, just enough. Looks like a little old lady in the bed. After we pay for your operation, we'll have just enough left for it, so don't you worry. River says, white lie. River says, that's what you call it, right? John says, no, I'm sure we can just... River says, stop it. She says, I don't like it when you lie. I calculated our finances. I know how it's like. Why do you try to convince me against my will? John, we need the money for your medical bills, River. I understand that Anya means a lot to you, but this is just too much. I mean, she isn't even... River says, do you know what makes me happy, Johnny? He says, what? She says, do you? She says, well, I do. I just hope you can help me with it. John says, River. River says, when the papers for my treatments get here, I will not sign them. River says, what you do with our money is up to you. But if you would grant my wish, I want you to use it to finish building that house. And then, for every day that you live there, I want you to watch over her. You are breaking my stuff. No. You're breaking my stuff, Percy. Get down. That's not nice. Don't you lay in my lap. River says, visit her, speak to her, comfort her. I don't want her to be alone anymore. John says, and what about you? River says, happy. River says, I'll be happy. She says, Johnny? And he says, yes. She says, I made this. Tell me what it is. John says, what? And she says, just tell me what it is. It's a rabbit, like all the others you made, he says. What else? She says. He says, it's made of paper. What else? She says. Its body is yellow and the rest is blue. She says, good. What else? He says, look, River. He sets it down. I wrote a song. It's for you. River says, okay. He says, well, would you like to hear it? River says, yes. River says, you didn't have to bring the piano in here for this. That is a big piano to just bring upstairs. I can hear you just fine with the door opening. It's called For River. Why so cliche, she says. It's just a placeholder, John says. Dr. Rosalind says, who is this Anya they were talking about? If she's so important, shouldn't we have seen her in his late memories? Dr. Watt says, I guess he didn't keep that promise after all. Dr. Rosalind, unless what? Never mind, she says. Hey, that's the same song the kids were playing earlier, huh? He says, I guess he taught them. You know what? I'm too manly for this. I'm heading on. I already got my memory links. You want to hitch a quick ride or look around yourself? I'll stay and explore. Go on ahead. I'll catch up with you. He says, don't you miss the days when memory audio to MP8 conversion was legal? I think I brought home over 2,000 songs during my first year on this job. Oh, that's funny. Okay, I'm gonna look around. I'm gonna click on stuff. The Emperor's New Clothes by Hans Christian Andersen. Received no paper rabbit. Yeah, let's go here. Okay, I'll go downstairs. Let's talk to these people. Nicholas, I'm telling you, there's just no way. John, what if we take it apart? Nicholas, look at us, John. We aren't exactly at the ripe age of piano moving. You know what? If this means that much to you, I'll pay for the professionals to do this. I can't help saving that house for you, so this is the least I can do. Interesting. Nope, nope, nope. Come back down here. Shish kebabs. Glass bottle of pickled olives. Someone really likes these. Box of mixed dough. Okay, now I just gotta figure out. Maybe it's that potted plant. I'm noticing like a repetition of elements here. Prepare the memento. I did it in 4 moves. Activate memento. It's a really pretty song. Not going back very far. Dr. Watts says, finally. Okay, let's go down here. She said, hey, Dr. Rosaline says, hey, look what we have here. Looks like a house. I bet they saw this cliff and thought it was not dangerous enough without people living on it, he says. John seems to be standing in front of this house. Looks like the house that he's living in the present. And a lady walks up. I think it's a lady wearing a dress. Isabel. Nick called and said I should come. I brought you pickled olives. They're your favorite, right? I heard about River. Will she be okay? John says her illness was just diagnosed in its late stage. Fortunately, it's treatable. But the medical bills... Let's zoom in on the house. We can't afford to finish building this house, Isabel. We can barely afford to pay for her treatment. I'm just relieved that she'll be okay, but we don't know how much this place means to her. She's gonna be heartbroken. Isabel says, I'd help, but Ted and I have been barely getting by since the market crashed. Tungsten, are you yelling it? Isabel says, what are you gonna do now? John says, I'm gonna tell her that we can make it. I'm gonna tell her that we can afford everything. I don't want her to do anything crazy. Isabel, you shouldn't lie to her. He says, "You don't understand, Isabel. If she found out, I'm not sure what she'd choose." She says, "So what? If she chooses not to save herself for the sake of this place, then so be it. If that's what she really wants. I really dislike when you neurotypicals think you know what's best for her." Okay, now I have to play this game because I have found an autistic character, or at least a neurodiverse character. Is it neurodiverse or neurodivergent? I think neurodiverse refers to the whole spectrum, and so neurodivergent. Oh, I got a follower. Thanks, Heavenly Imaginings. So Isabel says, "I really dislike when you neurotypicals think you know what's best for others." He says, "I hate it when you call me that, Izzy. Do you think this is all about her?" He says, "What about me, Isabel? After all these years, am I not allowed to be selfish even once? I don't want to be alone, Isabel. I'm not going to let her die." She says, "That's arrogant." He says, "I don't care." He walks away. She says, "Where are you going?" And he says, "I'm going to pick up something from this cliff to bring back to her. It'll at least give her some comfort." She says, "That doesn't make what you're doing any less wrong. Nick wanted me to give you this." It's a music box. He said it's called Everything's Alright. And he says, "It isn't." It's interesting walking backwards through the memories, right? Like, we just saw him have that conversation with her and her be like, "Nope, don't lie to me." And now we're here where we're seeing, Isabel tell him not to lie to her. That's the memory. Okay. Anything I can click on over here? I think we need to follow John. Just can't talk to her. Yeah, let's get up here. Or maybe I need to go in the house. Let's go in the house. Let's click on everything. Yep, we went in the house. Memory links may also be acquired from exploration. Can we click on anything in here? No. Okay. Got another one. Don't know how. Maybe from clicking on the truck. I am streaming while my delightful husband is cleaning up the kitchen after he made dinner. Which is really very kind of him. I think he can tell that I hurt a little bit today. More exploration got me all of the exploration, or all of the memory links. You can just see John standing on the cliff. Okay, this was a bit simple, but alright. I'm not gonna complain. Prepare memento. Pickled olives. Blech. Olives I love. Well, actually, I probably shouldn't say that because I like Kalamata olives. I don't know if those are pickled. Yeah, we're only going back like a half a thing at a time. Half a unit at a time Nicholas says, "So you guys are really going for it, huh?" John says, "Yep, the construction's starting in just a few months. It's a bit of a squeeze, we had to split the payment. But with financing, we'll make do." Isabel says, "How wonderful having your dream house built to such a beautiful site." Nicholas says, you had your wedding at that lighthouse near there all those years ago, didn't you? John says, that's not all that's special about it. We have a long history with that place. Nicholas says, well, it's good to have some good news at a get-together for once. Cheers and congratulations, you two. John says, hey, cheers. Looks like they're at like a restaurant. Isabel says, be right back. I'm gonna get some fresh air. River says, me too. Letty's head outside. Nicholas says, well, Betty, it's sure been a while. John says, hasn't it? Who knew how hard it is to get across a few cities nowadays? Nicholas says, that River is still so quiet, huh? John says, she's actually been talkative at home and with Isabel. I guess she's just not used to you. And Nicholas says, haha, so I'm the bad guy here, huh? Oh, hey, so did you tell River that thing from back then? John says, I did. Nicholas said, so how did she take it? John said, for the most part, she took it well. But something bugs me. Ever since the incident, she's been making these strange rabbits out of paper. Nicholas says, origami rabbits? And John says, yes, lots of them. And Nicholas says, I used to fold origami animals for my daughter all the time. And what's wrong with that? And John says, I don't think it's the same thing. She's been doing nothing but making the same rabbit day in and day out. Our house is literally filled with them now. Nicholas says, didn't Isabel say that something like that is a common trait with River's condition? John says, yes, but something doesn't feel right this time. When I ask her about it, she never answers. Instead, she gets this distant look in her eyes, and it's almost as if she wants something from me. And the strange thing is, I feel like there's something I owe her, too. Nicholas says, have you asked Isabel? John says, yes. She said she talked to her about it, but got nothing. Nicholas says, well, I'm certainly not one to inquire, but I'll tell you this. I've known you since middle school, and you're notorious for overthinking. You're probably just imagining things. There's no need to get too worked up. John says, usually when someone says that, something's always wrong. But I'll give you the benefit of doubt. You're probably right. And Nicholas says, probably. I'm always right, John. I am so curious. Dr. Watts says, wait, so even he himself never knew what was up with those rabbits? Dr. Isley says, forget about the stupid rabbits. We've got bigger problems. It's a confined memory, and there are no mementos anywhere. Oh, no. Don't worry, we can probably draw one out from him. How, she says. Leave it to me, he says. I just got to give the bartender a quick visit first. Okay. Bartender, hey there, could I get you anything? Dr. Watts says, heyo, could I get a bottle of pickled olives, please? Bartender says, sure, cash or credit. Dr. Watts says, check. Bartender says, I'm sorry, we don't take checks. Dr. Watts says, oh, just put it on my tab then. Bartender says, wait, does that mean you don't have any money? Dr. Watts says, you're so getting resetted. There's like a blink. The bartender goes, hey there, could I get you anything? Dr. Watts says, hello. Hello. Could I get a bottle of pickled olives, please? And the bartender says, sure, cash or credit. Dr. Watts says, just put it on my tab. I feel like spending big today. And the bartender says, oh, thank you, sir. Here are your pickled olives. Watts says, thanks, bro. You'll be getting an enormous amount of tips today. The bartender says, thank you, sir. And Rosaline says, you're such an ass, Neil. And he says, oh, loosen up. All right. Let's go talk to this guy. Dr. Watts, why, is that a bottle of pickled olives you're sporting? John says, yeah. Are you a fellow olive lover? Watts says, indeed I am. Just got a fresh bottle of them myself, in fact. Mind if I join you? John says, sure. Why don't you grab a seat? We'll down a bottle together. Ugh. Watts says, oh, yeah, that sounds just swell. Eva, disable taste simulation now. She says, oh, Neil, I don't think I feel like it. And he says, I'm so gonna get you back for this. Ugh. So that's how we got our first toaster. Oh ho ho ho. Watts says, ah, eck, ah. John, you okay there? Yes, I'm just savoring the amazingness of pickled olives. says, they're wonderful, aren't they? Yeah, I just can't understand how anyone could find such things to be disgusting. John says, take your time. We've got 2 bottles left. Ew. So I said, hey, that's not right. And they totally agreed, says John. They keep blacking out the screen like in a clock. And you know what else is wrong with society today? Says John. Got our 5 memory. Yeah, I actually have it right here. Why? May I see it? Says Watts. John says, okay. Here it is. And Watts says, freeze. Finally, dear Lord. Rosaline says, how are the olives, Neil? He says, oh, shut your mouth. Wait, don't you dare, says Rosaline. Don't worry, sheesh. See, I'm doing it by the books. Hulk smash! Rosaline says, Neil, seriously, I'm trying to get into this and you're ruining the mood. Watts says, totally worth it. Prepare the memento. Ideal puzzling. Activate. It's a letter of some kind. It's too small for me to read. Because I can't open the window more. I moved back another like half step. These are younger looking humans. Probably the same people, but younger. They're at a boarded up lighthouse. The 2 doctors appear on the roof of the lighthouse, and Watts says, crikey nutcrackers, in all caps. Rosaline says, you aren't Australian. Watts says, who cares? We're like 20 billion nanometers off the ground and standing on a damn flagpole. Rosaline says, just jump down. It's not like you can be hurt here. Watts says, are you kidding me? It's a freaking skydive. You can't stay on here. You can't get off. God, I hate it when this happens. I swear, if this place... And then she pushes him. And he says, Eva, what the F? And she says, wuss. So looking at the base again, 2 young people. River says, why would they abandon her like this? John says, I suppose she's just no longer needed. River says, no longer needed? He says, by ships, I mean. You know how it is, now that everything has GPS and all that. He says, look, River. This place means a lot to me too, and I've been thinking. In our current state, things have been pretty stable. If we save well, in a few years, we could afford to build a house on top of here. It's going to be a squeeze, but I'm sure, she says, we'd be able to see her from the window. In the morning, at night, we'd always be nearby. And we could walk here anytime. She'll never be alone again, John. She hugs him. I'll be able to watch over her every day. And he says, yeah, we will. Is the lighthouse Anya? Dr. Rosaline says, good for them. Watts says, you've got to be kidding me. Watts says, you remember what happens, don't you? It's like watching a train wreck. She says, the ending isn't any more important than any of the moments leading to it. The important thing is that over here, they're happy. Let's move on, she says. There's nothing to inspect here. Nah, okay. Wait a minute, says Watts. They were referring to the lighthouse as Anya, weren't they? Rosaline says, I suppose so. And he says, then that River, she declined treatment for the sake of a lighthouse? Watts says, isn't that a bit too extreme? And Rosaline says, I've seen stranger things in the course of the job. And he says, me too, but I can never wrap my head around it. And she says, it's none of our business anyway. She's not our client. So received a note. Must reply to the husband. Okay, so we're gonna look around up here and see if we can get more exploring points. Wait. See anything over here? Click on. Oh, there are people. Come back, people. Nope. I'm still following them. I'm gonna do it. Can't stop me. Is this just the memory replaying? Yeah. That's interesting. We've got 3 of 5 memory. Excuse me, links. Let's see if exploring gets us more. I can't tell what the terrain is, whether I can go up or down, and it's very confusing. Got 2 more. What's the item then? Going back to the lighthouse. Because usually it's like lit up or like a brighter color. Oh my gosh. What the heck is the memento? Is it this? Hang on. This flower looks more lit up. Nope. We got some beads over here. I think that was from them walking up. What the heck? There's a... Wait, there's a bright spot down here. Aha! Found a bunny. Get it! Let's prepare this bunny. I'm not gonna do this one well. I can tell. Yep, didn't do it well, but I don't care because I did it. John says river. Uh-oh. John says, you went out for a haircut this early in the morning? River has a platypus next to her. And he said, what are you making there? There's origami. Rabbits all over the floor. Oh, Gelatina Dueva just followed me. Hello and thank you. River says, rabbits. Did you see the rabbit I left for you? John says, yeah. River says, tell me about that rabbit. And he says, huh? And she says, describe the rabbit. And he says, it was yellow? And she says, what else? And he says, a bit puffy. And she says, and? He says, well, it's just a paper rabbit. I don't know how else to describe it. The music adds so much to this. And he says, you're acting strange, River. Is something wrong? River? This feels feels so ominous. Watt says, I don't know about you, but I'm getting some inverse deja vu. Rosalind says, I think I know of her condition, but this is rather odd even for that. Watt says, you think she's ... And she says, do you? And he says, perhaps, who knows? But like you said, she's not our client. Let's just see what we're paid for. Let's just get what we're paid for over with. Alright, let's look at the desk. Platypus. That's the memento. Can we talk to her? Rosalind. So this is the day she started it, huh? The bucket. Many long strands of orange hair. That's weird. An old baby grand piano. Rosalind says, how the heck did they move this thing upstairs? Watt says, who knows, but I bet it'd be a piece of cake for the TARDIS. Rosalind says, not really, you can't even get it through its door. Watt says, true. Well, that settles it. Moving pianos is a pain in the arse for everybody. It'd probably take an entire episode to get it inside. She says, I wouldn't mind seeing such an episode. Watt says, me neither. Sounds pretty epic. Rabbit. Watt says, dear Lord, not again. Alright, we've got all the mementos. Let's go back to that platypus. No, go. Oh my goodness. I want WASD to work. This game's been out forever. Improve it. It's getting in the way of the story. Your mechanics are dumb. Okay, let's prepare this memento. I'm making a mess. That's what I'm doing. Oh my goodness. I'm just gonna push the diagonal one first from now on, forever. Activate. Alright, so we're gonna move to the next piece, and then I'm gonna go eat ice cream and watch a movie with my husband. Let it load though. Okay, so we're... Gelatina Nueva says the ideal was 3, lol. Yeah, I did not do a good job at that one. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. So we're on the street. And the platypus like in a car. Can't click on it. I said I was going to save this and go spend time with my husband, so I'm going to do that. So I'm going to save. We'll save it over file 1. Gelatina says I'm bad too. Yeah, I got like 3 or 4 of them perfect, but sometimes I get distracted or I think a button will do something it doesn't, so I just get a little. But you know, I still get there in the end, which is the important part. So stream, I'm gonna run away. I think I'm gonna keep playing this game. It's intriguing. I do not like the mechanics. They're driving me a little up the wall. But I know this game has an end. I know it's not like a forever game, like a roguelike or anything. So I think I'll put up with it for the rest of this. Anyone has any suggestions on how to make the mechanics better, please let me know. But otherwise, I will see you later, stream.